I know it's early, y'all. It's early, but this is when I have. Oh, I'm never home on a Wednesday morning. It's amazing. I'm so blessed to be able to be here and to be able to start my morning in this way and share with you all some of the things that have been trickling down for me, um, and what I want to share about all those things. Um, so I'm feeling very watery today. I've got my aquamarine, like turquoise, watery dress on. It's going to be really nice today where I live. Really nice weather. Looking forward to that. Spending some time outside. Um, all the things. Um, and right now, yeah, I'm just here, and I'm ready to talk a little bit about my journey with, and I think that some of you will be able to also see this also in your own life. My journey with receiving, giving, and receiving. So here we go. I had completely forgotten that I was going to do an online workshop, series of workshops on the art of receiving about 3 years ago. I had put it out there into the internet. When was that? February. It's actually yesterday. I got the memory popped up on Facebook that I was going to be doing a little workshop on the art of receiving. And I ended up I don't even know. I definitely did one. I may have had one person join, which was amazing. And it was kind of just like a one-on-one thing because and I think it was the the workshop that I did where the woman that joined was like from Europe somewhere, somewhere in the Netherlands possibly. So that was pretty cool. That was really cool. That was like the first time that I really connected with someone through this Facebook that lives somewhere else, and I thought that was pretty cool. And now I know so many people from so many different places, um, really connecting with all of these different, mostly women around the world, and of course there's men that want to connect with me too, but not in the same way that I would like to connect with. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about um, where I am now versus where I was then, and my idea of receiving is definitely, it's a bigger scope um, now, and I understand it more on a totally different level from what I did then. So for a woman specifically to receive anything um, in this world, there has to be this openness to um, be able to receive without giving back. And of course, we can give from ourselves, and women give all the time, but I've been learning a lot recently how much overgiving there does exist from women that leads to burnout, exhaustion, resentment, all the things. And I'm sure many of you can relate to that. And it's not just, of course, to men, overgiving to men, it's also overgiving to each other, or almost this like competition to see who could be the most loving and giving person. And when we do things where that respects our boundaries, often people that aren't used to doing that for themselves um, were met with resistance. That's what I've noticed, especially with other women sometimes. And then it's the most amazing, beautiful thing when you connect with someone, with another sister who actually loves it when you set your own boundaries, who loves it when you are like, no, this is my time, boundary. This is where I work. This is when I work. This is when I can do things, and this is when I cannot. Um, and for them to be like, oh, I totally get it. That's amazing that you're taking time for yourself, that you need this time, that you're creating this space, even though they might need something from you or feel like they need something from you. They're going to respect that, right? And the same with, anybody in your life, whether it be in relationships or business or whatever. It's really wonderful. The more that you actually are creating those boundaries within yourself, you attract people that do the same. And that is a really, really beautiful thing, because it all starts with us, right? It all starts with us. So, when I was talking about receiving in the past, I was coming from a place of, a really beautiful place, a really beautiful place. Back then I was, and still am, a massage therapist, intuitive body worker, still am those things. But what I found was that it was very hard for people to receive, right? To really receive on the table, to really receive in the other healing sessions that I was doing and learning at the time, really difficult for them to actually be able to be open and vulnerable in a space of pure receptivity, where they don't feel like they need to give back in return, right? Where they could just be totally open and receptive. And now I'm also finding that people have a hard time really letting themselves receive unless they've had practice, unless they've actually learned or, deprogrammed themselves from this place of feeling like they always need to give back. So, what does this have to do with water? So, speaking of, so, water is a teacher. For me, the water flows, and water takes on the shape of the container that it's in, right? And so the receiving part of us also, water is kind of like the receiving part of us that needs something to for the things to be received into, right? And the body, of course, is mostly water, 78% water. And it's important that we can receive the blessings in our life, the water that we drink, all those things. It's really important to be able to receive that. And there are so many things that block us from being able to receive um, what we're in a physical way, and also like a soul level way and a spiritual way, those things that we that are meant for us, the things that are meant for us. It's very hard for us to receive those things, and there's all of this stuff that exists in the world that blocks our receptivity for that to happen. And one of the things is that the water that we drink, the actual water that we drink, sometimes is hard for our bodies to assimilate because of what's in it. Because water is meant to cleanse, but if the water itself is toxic, it's actually going to take more water to cleanse the body of not just the toxins in the body, but also the toxins within the water, right? And also this the way that our world is in these days, there's a coffee shop in every corner. You can buy alcohol anywhere you want to. It's in all of the movies and the TVs and TV shows and everything, like constantly, that people drink coffee. That's a norm. It's a normal thing to do. And people drink alcohol. And both of those things are very dehydrating to the body. So it actually prevents your physical vessel from receiving healing frequencies, even from the spiritual realm. It's not impossible. Of course, I've received many downloads, and someone even commented that they received downloads while they were, drinking. Although I would say that is, yeah, I have my own thoughts about that, because alcohol itself is means Al-Ghul, which is it's in its spirits, and it's a way for spirits to come in that may or may probably in most cases are not aligned with our highest good, right? So, yeah, so that is why hydration is key to healing. Really, hydration, drinking water that is has the least contaminants and toxins in it as possible is a really good way to clear the body of all the debris that you may have taken on earlier in your life, physically speaking. But as I believe, many of you might believe too, is that everything in the material world actually has a spiritual counterpart, right? So everything that we take in on a physical level, it started in the spiritual realm, okay? So anything that you eat or drink, it can be blessed, and it can, put a prayer over something that is not so good for you, and it will assimilate better into the body and digest better and be used in the best way possible. But at the same time, choosing wisely what we put in our bodies is also very important as well. Not to say that we have to eat pure all the time. I don't believe that at all, because that's just not possible. I mean, it is possible, actually, but it's not necessarily something that you have to do, right? So I know for myself, if I haven't been drinking enough water, if I've been eating too much sugar, in the past, if I've had coffee, too much coffee, there's actually a block. There's a block in the throat, in the the throat chakra, I mean, maybe not, but like in the crown, for spirit to come in, like there's not a full block, but there, it's not, it gets kind of tangled, you know. When you have brain fog, also that actually affects your ability to see with the third eye, to be able to see, and so to actually envision the life that you want to create. And that comes down to what you're eating and what you're drinking, right? So it does have an effect. And so when you're doing things that make you feel like crap, you are not being receptive to all the goodness that wants to flow into you from God, right? This is my third day on a Whole30 diet, and the main thing for me was cutting out the sugar. But it also includes dairy, and it also includes grains. And this is a temporary thing for me. I in no way am anti-gluten or anti-grains or anti-dairy or any of that. This is just something that I'm doing to help my body be purified on another level. And the key to that also is proper hydration as well. And I recently had a friend who told me that she had a sense that there was something off with her spring water, that, you know, there might be some contaminants in it. And, you know, you can definitely get your water tested. And I think that's important. If you do have a spring or a well, it's really important to get your water tested. And sometimes the testing can be quite expensive. And so it's good to just go ahead and get yourself a filter, a really good quality filter, so that you can know, or have kind of like feel a little bit better that what you are drinking is better for you and serves your body in a good way, right? And being receptive also to opportunities where you can really change your idea of what it means to be properly nourished in a lot of ways. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So many of our diseases in this world, chronic illnesses in this world, have to do with not being properly hydrated. A lot of them, most people that have chronic illness do not drink enough water. And so one of the reasons for this, like one of the more overarching kind of reasons, or maybe not a reason, but one of the things for this, that this is the not really making my words right now. Okay. Whew. Let me see. There are forces that exist that don't want us to be open to receiving all the blessings. There are forces that exist that want us to not be connected to our own source, not be connected to God. There are forces that exist that want us to be disconnected from our bodies. And those forces that exist are the ones that are pushing the highly processed foods, the things that dehydrate us, the coffee, the alcohol, And those forces are losing their grip. And more people are waking up to those things, are waking up to the fact that those things are there to keep us closed off from our spirituality. Okay? Those things, like I listed before, coffee, cigarettes for a long time. I mean, less people smoke now. That was really pushed earlier, last century, really pushed. I mean, the idea of inhaling smoke into your lungs is crazy. It's crazy to me. Like, I always felt like it was crazy to do that. But you get people hooked at a young age and it just becomes like second nature, right? But when your body is filled with smoke, again, it's very difficult for you to really be in touch with that which is of the highest good for you in your life, right? And it blocks the receptivity, it blocks the reception of all the things that you that are coming to you, they're coming to you, they want to come to you. And when you are doing things that are blocking that in the physical sense, it also has an effect. It has an effect in the spiritual sense as well, right? It's like someone that just struggles with addiction, but they have these amazing gifts in the world. Like maybe they're a musician, they have amazing gifts, they're very intuitive, very empathic, but it's so vulnerable to really share your real self without self-medicating yourself, because that is so against what this society as a whole deems as acceptable in the society, right? For a musician, for a singer to be in optimal health and singing about the healing of the planet, that is considered different. That's considered woo-woo, or that's considered like, there's Christian artists too, and they're not really highly respected in the mainstream because it's crazy making. But then we have people that are put on pedestals that sing about things that are not of the sacred, that are unholy, literally, as we saw at the Grammys. And really glorifying things that are not good for our souls or our bodies, really glorifying that which is going to keep us separate from spirit, from source. But as I said, things are changing. Things are really changing here, right? Things are really changing with this. There is a large growing group of people on this planet that are really making a difference here on this planet by knowing that to truly connect to the all that is, to God, we have to get right with ourselves. We have to get right with our bodies, really be open in a physical way, not, well, open in a way where we are receptive at a cellular level to all the goodness in the world. And that means staying in a flow-like state by staying hydrated. Allowing the sun to shine on our face. Allowing ourselves to hear the sounds of nature, to be able to hear the sounds of children playing, seeing the flowers grow, really being in oneness with the abundance around us and seeing that we are a reflection, we are part of that, that we are in resonance with that, because we are, that humans and humanity really here to bring in the spirit through our bodies and know that we are, we can make a lot of massive change, even at an individual level. And when we have a group of people that are doing that, then it's even better. There's a group of people that are making a difference like that. And what I mean by the abundance of nature, the abundance of all that is around us, that we can feel that and experience that in our own lives, and rather than putting blocks on ourselves, we can actually be open to that, and not be in a box of what it means to be a human, and like saying, oh, I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that. Like, of course we don't like need all the things, but if we have a desire to create a life for ourselves that we where we are divinely guided and we can act upon that, then that's pretty amazing, right? What else was I gonna say? I don't even know. I've kind of gone off topic about a bit. I don't even know if anyone's watching. That's okay. It's super early. I understand. This is kind of an impromptu thing. But if you watch this, if you're watching the replay, just tell me you're watching the replay. What I'm going to do also is I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel, which I haven't shared a video on there in a long time, but I'm going to download this video, put it on my YouTube channel, and my goal is to start sharing a lot more of this kind of stuff, the downloads that I'm getting at this time and this time of year, coming into spring. There's going to be a lot more of this, especially as I clear my vessel. And one thing about being really, really hydrated is that you're releasing a lot more, physically and energetically releasing a lot more. And on that note, I actually have to release some water from my body right now. So until next time, please reach out to me if you have questions about water, about receptivity, if you want to book a session with me where you can be in full receptivity yourself. I have some different options for that. I also have my vocal healing sessions, my embodied voice sessions, where we really work on receiving through the body and allowing ourselves to receive that which spirit comes to us, and then express it through our voices. If you want to know more about water, hit me up on that too.